Pacific Northwest as we get set for football at CenturyLink Field here in Seattle. This crowd, as we've come to expect in recent years, as loud as any in the NFL, and they get even louder when their Seahawks are introduced. We're ready for football as the Seahawks get set to do battle with the Los Angeles Chargers. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis on hand. And, Charles, we've got two teams here certainly with something to prove after a disappointing 2017.
Let's be honest about it. Their playoff aspirations, they went splat, didn't they? They've got to prove now to themselves and to their fans. Are they one of those teams that's ready to move back up? Or are they one of those teams that really has to rebuild?
Two former division rivals in the old AFC West. The Seahawks and Chargers are underway. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Time to focus in on Phillip Rivers as he brings out the Chargers offense. And looking back to Week 4, Rivers passed John Elway to move into 8th place all-time in passing yards. And the two guys ahead of him now in 6th and 7th, both active, both from his draft class, Charles. Eli Manning and Ben Roethlisberger.
Yeah, so when you start about draft classes with quarterbacks, obviously 1983 comes up big. I mean, it's got its own show, all right? People talk about it all the time. Elway, of course, was part of that. But this class of 2004, that's Eli Manning, Ben Roethlisberger, and, of course, Phillip Rivers, give them a pretty good run for their money, aren't they?
Yeah, quite a few wins, quite a few Super Bowls in that crew.
Set, 380.
They'll run. This is Melvin Gordon. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. With that, let's check out how the Chargers line up on offense.
Your NFL Comeback Player of the Year in 2017 was Keenan Allen, who set a Chargers record for most receptions in a season with 102. And he passed Hall of Famer LaDainian Tomlinson in doing so. Played only 9 games in the previous 2 years. He plays with a ferocity that few see on the field, attacks routes downfield, and makes big plays.
Set, 380. Set, 380.
Second down, Rivers. This is Gordon on the dump off. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's third down. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
So now an early 3rd and 10 here on their opening drive. From the shotgun, it's Rivers. And that is incomplete. Give credit to K.J. Wright. He was disrupting defensively.
And third down is a key down in any game you play. And third down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
Now Donnie Jones, an original 7th-round pick of the Seahawks, on to punt it away. Back deep, the dangerous Tyler Lockett. This is taken at the 23. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. They'll be brought out by their Pro Bowl QB in his 7th year now in the Emerald City. It's Russell Wilson.
So knowing the style of offense that Seattle favored or has favored during Russell Wilson's time there, raise your hand if you thought you'd see him lead the league in touchdown passes.
My hand's down right now.
That's what I thought. He only had 21 in 2016, so we didn't see that part coming. The Seahawks missed the playoffs for the first time in Russell Wilson's tenure last season, but expect that to change going forward.
Yeah, 34 touchdown passes last year on the heels of the 21 you mentioned the season before. Good to see this man running again. Here's Chris Carson. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field, the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance.
Play action. Now Wilson. He's going to air this out for Baldwin. It's caught inside the 25. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. And give him a gain of 37.
I don't care how many times you tell the story, it never loses its luster for me. Doug Baldwin, undrafted out of Stanford, and plays like a #1 receiver should in the NFL. I don't care how you cover him. I don't care that his size isn't great. He's the one that typically comes up with the football.
Absolutely. His roots go all the way back to Gulf Breeze, Florida, where he's from, right on the water near Pensacola, and then, of course, to Stanford, and, boy, he's been good. From the red zone now, here's Wilson on first down. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and it'll make it second down. And we take a look at the offense for the Seahawks.
And that means my eyes go to Doug Baldwin out on the perimeter. He plays the game so hard and with such passion, but also plays it skillfully. Only 1 drop last season on his way to another Pro Bowl season.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. From the shotgun, Wilson throws a quick hitter on the slant. That's complete. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
Some think the teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
On third down, it's Carson. And he won't have the touchdown, but he will have the first down as he's tackled at the 2. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. A stop there on third. They could have held him to 3 on this opening drive. Now they have to bow their necks on first and goal.
And if I'm looking at this from the offense's point of view, that's a big-time pickup right there, and I'd go right at him with another momentum play. I'd go quickly and attack them, because right now they probably have their heads down a little bit since they didn't stop them on third down.
Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Flush to his right. And he's going to score. It's a Seahawk touchdown. Russell Wilson taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Seahawks have taken a first-quarter lead.
That was not a designed run. It was supposed to be a pass, but it turned into an exceptional run. What a scramble for a touchdown.
Sebastian Janikowski on for the PAT. Janikowski adds the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. A drive that time of 6 plays, and it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run. Out to kick is Janikowski. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And the Chargers coming out on the field now. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. So Rivers will lead the Chargers out 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. A first down throw here for Rivers. It's complete right side to Benjamin. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. And this defensive line will be looking to control the point of attack.
And that's what they've done throughout this season. This is a terrific unit. They play together very, very well, and they don't permit big plays to happen.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Rivers now on 2nd down. And they can't bring him down. Completes it to Benjamin. Rivers to Benjamin. Good for the Charger first down. First down, Rivers. And that's complete to Gates. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. It's another 10 yards on that one and another first down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
Now Gordon on first down. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Now Rivers going to give to Gordon on the draw. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. Give him 3 yards, and now they're left needing a conversion here on 3rd and 6.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
On 3rd down, Rivers. And incomplete here on 3rd down.
I wonder, Brandon, I just wonder, you think maybe he was worried about where he was on the field? Was he far enough? Was he close enough to the first down sticks?
Absolutely. He was right there by him, and I think he was thinking first down before he caught that football.
Yeah, got to catch it first, because if you don't catch it, there's no chance of picking up a first down.
Here's Donnie Jones now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. The Seattle Seahawks, they have won 4 of their last 5 after starting 0-2. And, you know, in most divisions, they'd be in good shape. But right now, they're 3.5 games back of the 8-0 Rams in the NFC West.
Yeah, just let them go. Don't worry about that part. Try and qualify as a wild card. And Russell Wilson can help them get there. 3rd straight game with 3 touchdown passes. Led the NFL last year with 34. 16 already this year through 7 games. And how about that offensive line? They've taken a beating about how poor they've played in the past few years. They've just contributed to a franchise record 4th straight game with 150 more yards rushing. Chris Carson had 125 on the ground in Detroit. Look out for the Hawks.
And coming up, they'll get both teams from L.A. First the Chargers and then at the Rams week 10.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. You know what the converse is, though? You've got to win those one-on-one blocks. And when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Now the rookie first-rounder from San Diego State, it's Rashad Penny. Despite some fast footwork, he's still wrangled down shy of the 15. He'll be brought down at the 43. Joey Bosa in on the stop. The starters on defense here for Los Angeles.
Jaleel Adai's versatility is a big plus for him. He can match up against the tall receivers. He can match against the short, quick receivers. He can cover inside. He can cover outside. And as an added bonus, he tackles well, too.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. From the gun, it's Wilson. And Dixon over the middle. And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
On 4th down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. And great special teams work here. This is knocking on the door of the 5. They'll spot it at the 6-yard line. So out come the Chargers. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball to their territory.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. He's got room to run past the 20. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 at a 1st down.
Okay, when the big guy runs a corner route, you're asking a lot no matter who's covering him. Doesn't matter whether it's a linebacker or a defensive back.
Yep.
He usually has the advantage because of his body type.
Let's go. Ready.
Now Rivers going to give it off to Gordon. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Making the stop that time, Bobby Wagner.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26.
Set 180. And hot.
Now a 2nd down throw for Rivers. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away. And now it's 3rd.
It's a tried and true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. After an incomplete pass on second down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Working out of the gun, Rivers. Going underneath for Gordon. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. The Chargers passing game rolling a bit here. They've got another first.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They go play action here on 1st down. Trying to force it to Allen, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker, Bobby Wagner. And the return across midfield and to the 46-yard line. Allen, the intended receiver.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down the score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. They were forced to punt last time. Now, I doubt sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted with terrific field position.
I don't even want to think about the idea that they would end up punting starting with this type of field position. Neither do they. Great starting spot, great opportunity to run your full playbook. If they want to take a shot here, they can go ahead and do it.
After the interception, here's Wilson. Wide open receiver complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Give him 30 yards there.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. Now it's Carson. Oh, a heck of a move. Man. And now they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage. It's Melvin Ingram on the tackle. Well, at least he was able to break that initial contact, or it could have been a loss.
Yeah, give credit to the defensive player, though. What did he do? Made him slow down, slow up his feet, and allowed the rest of the guys to get there to finish him off.
The stop for no gain brings up 2nd and 10 from the 20. On 2nd down, Wilson. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And here he'll get it down to the 7. He'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Came up a little short on the last pass play. They did get 9 yards out of it, leaving him with his 3rd and 1. Operating from the gun, Wilson. There's Baldwin. Touchdown, Seattle. Doug Baldwin, a 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Seahawks find a way to stretch their lead. On those slants, everything happens so quickly. What makes it work?
The timing between the passer and the receiver. In this case, a slant route. Ordinarily, it's probably about 3 steps before you go on the slant. In this amount of time, I think it's a 2-step deal. Boom, put his foot in the ground and got inside for the pass.
Got inside for the pass, got inside for the catch and the score. Janikowski good with the extra point, and that'll make the score 14-0. A drive there of just 4 plays. And it all culminates with a Seattle score. Out to kick is Janikowski. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Charger offense making their way back out there. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board.
Set. 380.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. 7 yards on the play, and that'll make this a 2nd down.
And the big guy catches the ball out of the backfield, and oftentimes it's quite a surprise to the guys playing defense because not ordinarily thought as a pass catcher, it often works when they decide to dial it up.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3.
Set. 380. 80 high.
To throw on 2nd down, Rivers. And this is, oh my goodness, he pulled it in one-handed. And all the way in for a Charger touchdown. Tyrell Williams, 68 yards. And the Chargers get the quick strike touchdown. They were already down 2 scores early. They needed something to try to stem that tide, and that certainly qualifies. A big play to get them in the end zone.
It qualifies indeed because, let's face it, they don't get something done on this drive, turn it back over, this game could be 88 and out the gate early.
What? 88 and out the gate?
Yeah.
What's that?
Well, listen, I used to hear my old man talk about it. Usually meant that thing's done.
Well, now that they got the touchdown, it's not 88 and out the gate. We still got a good game going ahead of us. Caleb Sturgis now for the point after. Sturgis adds the PAT, and that'll make our score 14-7. That drive started on their own 25. 2 plays, 75 yards later, into the end zone. Sturgis out now to kick this one off. This is taken at his 4. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. And time for us to spotlight Doug Baldwin. And we roll tape now on his solid performance.
And what we've been seeing so far is a great combination of finesse and aggressiveness in running his routes and making plays. That's what you want in any type of a receiver. The guy knows exactly what to do on a given play and ends up making the plays that help your team win.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at about the 32. They'll start out on the ground with Carson, and he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
And before they can run another play, the clock hits triple zeros. And time is up on the first quarter. 14-7 is the score. We'll be back to Seattle right after this.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you and you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
Alongside my broadcast partner, Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin hits the Seahawks with a football to begin quarter number 2, but they face a second and long to start things out. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Here's Carson. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Came out in a power set, but that only served to put more men in the box. And guess what? If you're going to do that, you've got to win up front, right? Your offensive guys have got to beat the defenders. They lost all leverage on that play.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Third and long. It's Wilson. Completes it to Dixon. And at the 42-yard line here and brought down there. They do get 12, but they'll be marked short. And that leads to a 4th down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
Now here's Michael Dixon as he's on to punt for Seattle. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin him back. The Chargers offense gets set. They head back onto the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
So Rivers will lead the Chargers out 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. They'll start the drive with a run by Gordon. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Rivers. And his throw's going to be incomplete. He was looking for Travis Benjamin that time. And it's 3rd down.
The name of the game is always on defense, put pressure on the quarterback. And that's exactly what they've done today. It looks like they've got him a little bit rattled. That would have been the 2nd interception in the first half.
The Chargers on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. From the gun, Rivers. He's got his man. It's Williams. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 17 yards for the Chargers there as they got themselves a 1st down. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Set, green 80.
On 1st and 10, Rivers. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete. But just taking a glance real quick at next week's games in the NFL. The Chiefs at Browns, that's kind of intriguing. Obviously, the Browns are struggling, Charles, but Mayfield and Mahomes, that's going to be a fun quarterback battle.
It's going to be a blast, isn't it? Maybe they can recreate their day when they played against each other in college, when Mayfield had transferred from Texas Tech to Oklahoma. Mahomes is now the starting quarterback at Texas Tech. Mayfield throws for 545 and 7 touchdowns, and the better game was had by Mahomes. Now, Mahomes' team lost, but individually, 734 yards, 5 touchdowns, and ran for 85 yards more. It's unbelievable. I thought both of their arms would fall off at the end of that game.
Those are some Big 12 stats right there. Now, you've got the stat sheet from that game in front of you. How many times did Mahomes throw it?
He threw it 88 times.
That's unbelievable.
88. I think that game ended probably 2 days later after kickoff. I mean, it's unreal how long it took.
He's got a man. It's Williams. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. First catch for him. It's good for a dozen and a first down.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. A pair of first downs gives them a 1st and 10 up at the 44. On the counter, here's Gordon. And he's going to be met at about the 43. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much.
Ready. Delta. Hey, hot.
On 2nd down, they'll run with Gordon. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to 3rd down. 2 yards on the first down carry, and then followed up by 2 yards on the 2nd down carry.
Well, that's definitely not going to be enough to get the job done. Wasn't the expression 3 yards in a cloud of dust?
Now they're going to need 6 on 3rd down to keep the drive going. On 3rd down, Rivers gets it to Benjamin. It's caught. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. The Chargers passing game rolling a bit here. They've got another first.
And another thing that makes the comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
Rivers now 11 of 17 passing thus far. He's got his guys a 1st and 10. Play fake. Rivers. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Frank Clark in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range.
180.
Play fake to Gordon. Now Rivers. And that is incomplete. Keenan Allen, the intended target, third down here.
A pretty rocky start in this game for the guy throwing the ball. Already has thrown one interception. Almost threw a second one right there. All he's doing right now is giving the defense a whole lot of confidence.
The Chargers on third down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This will be a tough 3rd and 18. Now movement up front. I think they're going to get one of the Charger linemen.
False start, offense.
And maybe they were coming with a blitz that time and it caused a jump.
I think if we saw it, you know that they saw it.
Still
Might have been a
third
little discussion down there. Bad guys coming. Pick them up. Pick them up. And someone jumped.
So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now. 3rd and long. From the shotgun, it's Rivers. This is Gordon on the dump off. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. It's a gain of 11, but they're still well short. It's 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
And Sturgis able to knock it through. And they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10. So they get 3, certainly hoping for 6 after a 13-play drive.
So you console yourself on defense by saying you did your job, right? If they go 13 plays, you only give up a field goal, you did a nice job there. But here's the other part. 13 plays, you don't force any mistakes, you don't take the ball away. Maybe that's the way they should look at it.
Now it's Sturgis converted on the field goal. Now he'll send this one away on the kickoff. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's Russell Wilson and the Seahawk offense now getting set to go again. He's thrown for a touchdown pass, and he's run for one so far.
When you're able to watch a guy perform at a high level and do it in multiple ways, arm, legs, he really helps his team in a big way. You've got to think that they feel great about where they are in this ball game, and they feel even better about him leading their team.
Now he's hoping to put them into a better spot after this drive. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. From the gun, Wilson. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. Let's see, do you allow me to switch topics here for a second?
By all means.
Thank you. The Saints have won 6 in a row, and they've been a team that we've talked about a lot in recent weeks. This coming week, though, they play the undefeated Rams. That is going to be a blockbuster matchup.
Man, they get them at home. They get them in the dome, so that's going to be a whole lot of fun to watch. They are a true contender to the Rams right now, okay? Let's face it, the Rams are undefeated, taking on everyone, high-flying offense, defense with a guy named Aaron Donald that can wreck you from inside. But the Saints are contenders because their run defense is pretty darn stout. Cam Jordan, their defensive end, never gets enough attention or recognition. And now they're unleashing the rookie Marcus Davenport off the edge at quarterbacks. He's playing better and better every week. I think this is going to be a whole lot of fun. Drew Brees taking on the young quarterback Jared Goff. I think we've got a blast on our hands. And how about the running back battle? Alvin Kamara, Mark Ingram from New Orleans, Todd Gurley for the Rams.
Sparkle up. Penny, a 1st down carry. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on 1st down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run.
Move the team.
Now Wilson on second down. And Dixon has it. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Wilson now, only one pass has hit the ground for him. 10 of 11 thus far. It's 1st and 10. From midfield now, here's Wilson. It's caught on the left side by Baldwin. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helped to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch. Good for 8 yards. Play action. Now Wilson. Steps away. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. When in doubt, do it yourself as he keeps it for 3 and a first down.
Now, how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. This is Carson. Gets around him, and he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
On 2nd down, here's Wilson. That is incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It's way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd down and 12. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. And this is going to be incomplete.
Well, they're slinging it, and then there's one you got to put a timer on, huh? I mean, that one came in hot.
That came in hot, but overthrown out of his reach and incomplete. Now here's Michael Dixon as he's on to punt for Seattle. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. The Chargers getting set to go. And they had a long drive last time, but they had to settle for a field goal. And I'm sure that's how it felt to them, settling. They probably should have gotten in the end zone.
Yeah, not out and out joy, right? Because that's what you get when you put the ball in the end zone. But there are benefits to that type of a long drive. Your defense gets a chance to take a break, adjust a little bit, maybe get themselves ready to get back out on the field and play a little bit better. So they'll take the benefit even though they wanted the 6 points.
And maybe wore down the other defense. We'll see. Off the play fake here, Rivers. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
I know at times people think we use it too often, but you've got to be able to throw guys open. And when you read zone, you've got to stick it in there before your receiver gets to the next guy in the zone. Otherwise, you bring him into the play.
And that's precisely what allowed that defense to disrupt the pass. Rivers incomplete on first down. Here's 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's brought down, but not before a really nice stiff arm to create a little space. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot.
Look, the first down marker is out there, but sometimes it's hard to find for an offense when they're in a long yardage situation, which usually means throw the football. In this case, they went against the tendency and ran it. And boy, the reward was there. A big, big pickup. And guess what? It's now 3rd and very short in order to try and pick up a first down.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've hit 4 of 7. They're looking at 3rd in the nose of the football. Trying to power it ahead with Watt. And he will get the first down as he's up to the 20-yard line. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
3rd and inches, just turn around, hand it to the big guy and let him plow forward and pick up a first down. A lot of people think that the offensive line, they may almost take the play off because they got a big guy back there pushing forward. I think it actually works in reverse. I think they block harder because they love seeing that guy get the ball because he doesn't touch it very often.
Here we go.
They go play action. Rivers under a heavy rush, and down he goes. K.J. Wright not dropping into coverage. He comes on the blitz and takes him down for a loss of 9. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Throwing Rivers. Gates has it over the middle. And they'll bring him down here right around the 17-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
2 minutes remain here in the first half. Back to CenturyLink Field after this. A reminder that when halftime rolls around, Jonathan Coachman will have all the highlights and analysis of this first half of play from our studios in Orlando. The Chargers on 3rd down. They've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. This is 3rd down and 12. Now a 10th carry for Melvin Gordon. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. And now the Seahawks are going to take a timeout here on defense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. So a defensive timeout, chance to regather, regroup, and get set as we resume action. Here's Donnie Jones now as he's on to punt for L.A. Now it's Lockett. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Doug Baldwin and company getting ready to go again on offense. He's already approaching 100 yards and has the touchdown. I'm sure on that opposite sideline right now, they're scratching their heads saying, all right, what do we do?
And the hard part is, even if you limit him to a short catch, he has that make-you-miss ability to take it for big yardage and put in the end zone again. So trying to blanket him is very difficult, but ultimately, you've got to find a way to put him on the ground, tackle him, and he doesn't make that easy.
Well, they're struggling with that so far. Throwing now, Wilson on first down. He's got the tight end, Vanette. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Here's Wilson to throw. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. First down, Seahawks. Wilson to Baldwin.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. And welcome back. The offensive unit, they took the timeout, and now they get set to line up as we resume action. They'll throw on first down with Wilson. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1.
Let's face it, perfection is something we all chase, whether it's playing this game or whatever we do. Hard to attain, but that's what they were searching for as that pass goes incomplete.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Wilson to throw again. Dumps that off to Penny, his running back. They showed off a nice juke of the defender before the next wave could bring him down. Call it a pickup of 7, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Wilson now to throw on 3rd down. And he's got his target. That's more. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Call it a gain of 10, and they pick up the first. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. So the offensive unit called the TO, and now we are ready to resume play. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. From the right hash, this from 45 yards away. And Janikowski bangs it through, and that moves him up by a touchdown now at 17-10. So a good kick there to polish off the drive with 3 points.
Yeah, coaches always talk about finishing a drive with a kick. 2 of them give you points, either an extra point or, in this case, a field goal.
Now after the made field goal, here's Sebastian Janikowski to kick it away. Here's Desmond King on the return. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Final play of the first half, barring a penalty, as they come up on 1st and 10.
Set, 380.
Final play of the half, Rivers. He's airing it out for Williams. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. So we are at halftime here in downtown Seattle with the Seahawks out in front. As we'll send you back over to Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report, here's Jonathan Coachman.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much, and welcome everyone to this abridged version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. This game's had a little bit of everything thus far, and certainly plenty to look forward to, as the teams are right back out there for the second half. So we'll get right back out there as well, as we'll turn it back over to Brandon Godden.
Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A one-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. The Seahawks with the advantage, and they get the football first as the second half is underway. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. They have the lead, now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Here's a handoff to Carson to begin the drive. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
They keep it on the ground. This time it's Penny. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead, give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. They keep it with Penny on first down. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
So from Charger territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. They'll toss it out to Carson. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Partner, I think the easy thing now would be to just abandon the run and start throwing the football at all costs. But I've been in so many games where it doesn't work running the ball. It doesn't work running the ball. And then something pops, and now you get something going. I'm not so sure that just abandon your game plan this early in the second half.
On 2nd down, here's Penny. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 4 yards on the pickup there, and now they're left with a 3rd and 8.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 8. From the shotgun, Wilson. This is caught at the 20. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A really good pickup of 28 yards. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
They run it with Carson. And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks,
and that one ended up going backwards.
A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. They run again with Carson, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Joey Bosa with the tackle for loss. How about that pedigree in his family?
Yeah, some good pedigree. Tell us about it, Mr. Davis.
Dad played in the NFL, first-round draft pick. Uncle was a first-round draft pick. He's got a brother coming behind him. But Joey Bosa, guy plays really, really hard and plays all aspects on defense.
2 running plays go backwards. So what's the call on 3rd and 13 now? From the gun, it's Wilson. Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. Melvin Ingram in there to drop him for a loss of 10. And it'll be 4th and long. Well, they went with the nickel. They throw in an extra defensive back. Coverage was very good.
Yeah, it was exactly as you would expect. A passing down. You bring in the nickel package. Just as you described, the coverage was excellent and allowed one of their linemen to end up getting to the quarterback.
So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. He was true on his first. This a tough one from 49 yards away. And Janikowski bangs it through, and they double him up here. That makes our score 20-10.
So as it turns out, that sack doesn't wind up costing them, Charles. They at least get points, get 3 of them.
Yeah, that's where your kicker can really come to your rescue because, you know, after the sack, there was a little consternation there. Are we out of field goal range? Are we going to be able to get 3? In this case, he stepped right up and gave them exactly what they needed.
Now after the made field goal, here's Sebastian Janikowski to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now we'll look at the Chargers offense. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. A first down throw here for Rivers. And his throw is going to be incomplete. He was going for Gates, his tight end that time, and that'll bring up second down.
Well, CD, we have a second. We need to give a congratulations to Adam Vinatieri. Earlier in the year set the all-time mark for field goals, but now he's the league's all-time leading scorer. He passed Hall of Famer Morton Anderson.
How about that? And that was a record that Adam Vinatieri himself said, I didn't expect anyone to ever approach that record, let alone myself. And going into the game in Oakland, a lot of family and friends wanted to buy airline tickets, get out there and be there to celebrate. He had a groin injury, and he said, hey, you might want to hold off on that. I'm not sure I'm even going to be able to play. But play he did, and he set the record. He makes a strong case to be a first-ballot Hall of Fame guy when his time comes up.
That's something as a kicker. 2,547 career points.
That one good for 13 and a Charger first.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
So following the run by Gordon, here's 1st and 10. Rivers now to throw on first down. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. The best name in the NFL, Barkevious Mingo. And it'll be a 2nd and long.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. On play action, Rivers. Wide open, it's Allen, complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A really nice gain of 25 yards. A nice little completion there by Phillip Rivers. And you and I were reading the article yesterday, 5th grade. Rivers had to do a project where he had to make a poster about his dreams and aspirations. So he clipped out a football player from a magazine article and pasted his face on the helmet. That's what he wanted to be, and it turned out okay.
Not so bad. Not so bad at all. Remember, he's the son of a coach. And on that play, I think he made the old coach proud with that completion.
So 2 first downs, and that moves the ball to the 42 now, 1st and 10. First down, Rivers. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. Back to the ground now with Gordon. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
So some holding over on the left side of that O-line.
And I know for the guys trying to move those big defensive people, they'd love for them to stay in one spot, but they move around so quick and so fast that sometimes you just have to grab them.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. Following the penalty, here's Gordon. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
It's real easy to say this running game needs to be better, but the reality is they've been given little time to actually find a place to run the football. It's almost like the defense is there on the handoff.
First and 2nd down were a disaster. Both went backwards. Now it's 3rd and 18. They need something big. Rivers now from the 50. He's got his man. It's Williams. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A very solid gain of 27. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a 1st down.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Moving backwards on 1st down, never a good thing. What does that do for the mindset on 2nd down?
Well, it changes your play call, definitely, because as a play call, you're advancing yourself thinking, okay, we're going to get a gain here. Now you've got to go back in reverse, come up with something to pick up not just the yardage lost, but gain a few extra.
That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13. Rivers now on 2nd down. Throwing the out route and complete. That's Williams. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down. The Chargers on 3rd down. They're hitting at 60%, 6 out of 10 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. Now movement up front. I think they're going to get one of the Charger linemen.
False start, offense.
Well, it's a 3rd and somewhat manageable now, not so manageable.
Exactly, because you had a play call on that you felt like, hey, this could go quick, and it doesn't take much to get it done. Now, you got to start thinking about a little bit of a deeper route type of a call, especially if you want to throw it.
Now, after the false start, they need 8 yards here on 3rd down. Working out of the gun, Rivers. Benjamin with it over the middle. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
They didn't get the 1st down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the 1st. And Sturgis able to knock it through. And that will tighten this one up a bit. Now a one-score game at 20-13. So a decent drive there to start the third quarter. They only salvaged 3 out of it, but they inch a bit closer.
Yeah, but still lots of time to go in this one. That's why you hear that clapping on the sidelines, right? Hey, got some points. As you said, inching their way back in. Time left to go out and get that victory.
Now it's Sturgis converted on the field goal. Now he'll send this one away on the kickoff. This one taken just inside the 10. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. And time for us to spotlight Doug Baldwin. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this, but it's usually not by himself, is it?
Right.
Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line. Now Wilson operating from the gun. It's complete to Lockett. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. They'll run it now out of the gun. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Well, that one was over before it could get rolling. How about the D just knifing into the backfield and shutting that one down?
Again, it's Penny. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. But this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same.
And I have to admit, partner, that I've often thought that I don't like this rule, where the offensive player fumbles the ball, it goes out of bounds, and they get to keep it.
That's just because you're a defensive guy. That's why you don't like it.
Yeah, you're right. It is a slanted view, isn't it?
But this is where, for the offensive team, the sideline is their friend. Usually it's not their friend.
Yeah, exactly right. I actually played for a guy in college. You know what he used to name the sideline? Sammy. Sammy sideline, and use him well.
The Seahawks on 3rd down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This will be 3rd and 5. To throw is Wilson. From the gun, he'll throw. He gets it to Baldwin. And they just keep marching right along. 1st down on a pickup of 8 there. Going old reliable there to the slot on 3rd down.
And the slot position has become the bane of just about every defense's existence because how do you cover? Do you go with the bigger guy to try and use size? Try to go with the quicker guy and sometimes even get out quick there? Very difficult to match up with that slot receiver. That's why they keep going back to him.
And he's had the hot hand. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. The former Gamecock here. This is Mike Davis. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And it'll be 2nd and 12.
Every year I go to the combine and marvel at the speeds that linebackers are running nowadays. They run like DBs. And let's face it, they know how to finish plays too. Eyes up, head up,
run right through him.
Now Wilson on second down. They set up the screen to Penny. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
Time to give a little credit here. That was an excellent read by the guys on the defensive side of the ball.
Oh, you're crediting your defense.
Got to credit them on that one because they tried to fool them, right? Tried to trick them. Ran a screen, and they went to it and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
So 2 plays with only negative yardage to show, and now it's 3rd and 16. Operating from the gun, Wilson. Over the middle and into the hands of his receiver, Moore. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
So now here comes the field goal team for the 3rd time today. This officially a 55-yard attempt. Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. So it's a quarter that saw these 2 teams trade field goals here as we've reached the end of 3 quarters of play. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Seattle, Washington. It's Charger football, but they trail here as we get going in quarter number 4. So now a chance for points in the opposite direction after the blocked field goal. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. It's complete right side to Benjamin. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. That one goes for 24 yards. Rivers now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. From the gun, Rivers. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. He was trying to hit Melvin Gordon there. And now it's 2nd down.
So it looked like maybe his 3rd or his 4th read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
Rivers incomplete on 1st down. Here's 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Rivers. His throw incomplete. Virgil Green is tied in the intended receiver. And it's 3rd down.
Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want. Get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
So now 3rd and 10. They had the big play to start the drive, but 2 incompletions since. On 3rd down, Rivers. And he's taken down, trying to do a little too much, getting outside of the pocket, and it results in a sack.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. From the right hash and call it an even 50 yards. And Sturgis able to knock it through. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. So an interesting call there to take the 3. I mean, I guess they're thinking that their hands were tied, but, you know, 4th quarter, that field goal might not help them that much in the end.
Yeah, eventually they're going to need the touchdown. The thinking must have been they didn't feel confident about picking it up there, hoping maybe on defense they can get better field position, get a turnover, get a better play, and then they'll have a chance to attack the end zone.
Now it's Sturgis converted on the field goal. Now he'll send this one away on the kickoff. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They'll start on the ground. It's Rashad Penny. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. And in this situation with the lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. On 2nd down, here's Wilson. And Dixon over the middle. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a 1st down.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
Wilson now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Now it's Wilson. And he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete.
When defenses get to the quarterback that quickly, a lot of times it's called a jailbreak. It wasn't quite that fast, but fast enough that he had no time to look downfield and set himself to throw the ball. And as he tried to do that, he was hit, and it forced an incompletion.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And very little room to maneuver. He'll get this down to about the 39. Just a couple there on the 2nd down run. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8 situation.
All right, that's a decent game there, but it hasn't been his best game overall. So I wonder what the mindset is of his team. Do they want him to handle the football and try and close this game out? Or are they going to make an alternative plan and maybe go in a different direction?
I think they need him, and this is his time to shine. On 3rd down, Wilson. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Casey Hayward. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line. A critical error there in a tight game in the 4th.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the 4th quarter. Turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the 4th quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
Now the Chargers offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see.
Set. Block the team. Be hot. Be hot.
Following the interception here, Rivers. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. It'll be a gain of 9, and it'll be second and about a yard. He felt the pressure coming there. That was a good job of just making something out of nothing, so to speak.
Yeah, took the hit and still made the play. You know, when we talk about runners, all right, and on running plays, runs after contact, we call that getting dirty yards, tough, gritty ones. To me, that's like the version of a dirty pass. He knows he's going to get smacked, yet still delivers the football and picks up good yardage.
Rivers now looking for Allen. He's got him on the slant. A Charger first down. Rivers hooking up with Allen.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
Ready. Block the team.
On 1st and 10, Rivers. And this is going to be incomplete.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
That fourth quarter, maybe you do start to watch. Is the arm there, the leg's still there? This has been a tough game. Rivers incomplete on first down. Here's 2nd and 10.
Set. Block the team.
To throw again. Rivers. That's complete right around the 8. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. And they'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for 3rd down.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
Came up a little short on the last pass play. They did get 9 yards out of it, leaving him with his 3rd and 1. To the air again here, Rivers. The quick slant caught. He didn't get the touchdown, but he did get the first down as he's tackled at the 1. It's a gain of 6 as they're able to convert, and now it's 1st and goal.
Well, we're used to seeing the guy that you consider the number 1 receiver double covered, but how about this guy? He's double covered and finds a way to make the play for a first down.
That's how you increase your Madden rating, right?
No doubt about that at all. And you know something? I think we'll hear about that from him soon.
Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown. And that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal. They come out here in the eye. They'll try and punch it in. Gordon. And he'll actually lose a little bit of yardage here. Back to the 2. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Back at the 2 now. Here's 2nd and goal.
Set. 380.
From the shotgun, it's Rivers. And this is caught. He's got it. Touchdown, L.A. Virgil Green, a 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Chargers have taken the lead here in the 4th quarter. So from 3 scores down, these guys have fought all the way back to grab the lead. And I'll just tell people what happened when they went up 3 scores. I wrote on your paper 2 words, game over, and now I'm eating those words. I was wrong.
A little salt, a little pepper, goes down pretty easily.
I will admit when I make a mistake.
Well, it looked like it was going that way. This is one of those paging Frank Reich moments, and I can't believe I just brought that up because Frank Reich at Maryland in college Did it to my Tennessee Volunteers, and I was a big reason why my team lost.
Sounds like you still harbor some pain from that game.
You know, we still got a little time to work it out with the doctor.
Sturgis for the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So that drives 7 plays in length, and it winds up with a touchdown for Los Angeles. Sturgis out now to kick this one off. This is fielded at the goal line. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Russell Wilson now gears up to lead the offense again. And the interception that ended their previous drive, that might be one we look back on and say that was the turning point of this game.
Hey, partner, guess what? There's still time for a few more turning points in this ball game. They're only 1 score down.
Yeah, true. We could have some twists and turns. Stay tuned. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10, right at the 30. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Adrian Phillips there to knock that one away.
If you're a defender, one of the fun things about playing zone defenses, especially in today's football, is that it's not as static as it was in the good old days, meaning you just drop to a point and reacted to the football. Now you end up with a lot of man-to-man principles once you get into your zone defense. In other words, get to your assignment and then locate a guy coming into your area, and then you end up covering him almost man for man. That allows him to make more plays on the football like the one we just saw there.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Wilson to the sideline. Wow, what a catch. Doesn't get a lot out of it, but he is able to keep the feet in bounds. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. He's been a busy man here in this one, and they're showing off some nice footwork to stay in bounds.
And with those types of catches and the volume that we've seen in this game, wouldn't you keep him busy as well?
I would.
Of course. You got to keep throwing it to him. He keeps making plays.
Now they'll try to convert on 3rd and 6 after the 4-yard completion. From the gun, it's Wilson. And he's got Lockett. Wilson to Lockett there for the Seahawk 1st down. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And this one is incomplete. He was going for the tight end, Nick Vanette. And that'll bring up 2nd down. A little too much oomph, too much mustard there on that pass.
They really turned it loose, didn't they? Really cut loose with that one. Sharp, strong. Didn't lead to a completion, though. Made it very difficult.
So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. 2nd and 10. It's Wilson again. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Throwing again here, Wilson. And incomplete, a disappointing drop there defensively by the rookie. And now 4th down.
I guess they're in a situation now, fourth quarter, where they're forced to take some chances, but I don't know that that was the type of a chance you want to take.
And that one could very easily have been intercepted, and if it does get picked off, that could possibly seal this one.
Now here's Michael Dixon as he'll punt it away for the fourth time today. And a great job on special teams to down it, as this will be marked out inside the 5-yard line. Here comes the Chargers offense now back out onto the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Gives to the first man through, wide. And he'll take this up to about the 7 or 8 yard line. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. This is where, fourth quarter, you got the lead, you give it to the big guy. Defensively kind of sucks the will out of them, doesn't it? Because they don't want to tackle him right now this late in the game.
You say that with accusatory tones. I mean, but you're exactly right. I know it's not something we actually want to talk about, but as a defender, 4 quarters worth of trying to bring people down, 4 quarters worth of pounding, and now late in the game, here comes that big guy coming at you, and a lot of guys are wondering whether they want to come up and make that tackle at this stage of the game.
A really good pickup of 28 yards.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end, a guy that you can line up anywhere, in the slot, out wide, in tight, doesn't really matter, because he has such great skills, you want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Rivers going to turn and give this one to his running back, Gordon. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Defense able to get there, swarm to the football. Zilch, 0 nada there for the offense, Charles.
Yeah, it really was an example of good team defense, wasn't it? Everyone handled their responsibilities, and they held them to no gain.
The rush defense stout on first down. Here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Now a 2nd down throw for Rivers. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
That's very well timed there defensively, because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. An incomplete pass on 2nd down. It muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10. From the gun, Rivers. And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down.
I remember when I was a kid and all I wanted was a nickel so I could get that soda down at the fountain. And guess what? The nickel came into play well. 5 defensive backs, they covered well, allowed for the sacks.
Sodas were a nickel when you were a kid?
No, I just needed the extra nickel so I could pay the proper price.
Okay, how much were they? A dime? What were they?
15 cents.
Here's Donnie Jones now as he's on to punt for L.A. Returnable for Lockett. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field.
These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line.
Right, push the team.
Out of the gun, here's Wilson. He lets it fly for Lockett. And incomplete. Crisis averted. Almost picked. Instead, 2nd down.
Trying to erase that deficit all at once. One big shot. He took it. Unfortunately for him, incomplete.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10.
Right, push the team.
2nd and 10 now, Wilson. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. From the shotgun, Wilson completes it to Dixon. And they're able to get this one across the 35. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a 1st down.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They go play action here on 1st down, and that is incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Wilson now going to throw again. And he comes back with one complete. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
This is 3rd and 2, maybe the biggest play in this football game. Now they try the right side here. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
Brandon, this can be so demoralizing for a defense. They've had 2 opportunities to get off the field. They haven't gotten it done. So now your coordinator, he's going to call every blitz that he has, any type of exotic, something that they haven't seen before. And he's also telling the defensive lineman, don't worry about holding people up. Just get in gaps and try and make a big play.
And not only not getting off the field on 2 opportunities, clock continuing to run. A couple of 1st downs have them to the 40 now on 1st and 10. Throwing now, Wilson on 1st down. Baldwin with it over the middle. And he's taken down inside the 30. 12 more yards there and another 1st down.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
Time for a break.
We're back to see what happens after this. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They'll throw on first down with Wilson. It's caught. Lockett. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. They'll look to throw. And he can't corral it. That would have wrapped it up if he'd been able to hold on. Instead, it brings up third down. They took their shot for the end zone, almost cost him.
And he made the right play there, knocking it away. But, boy, it looked like he had a chance to come down with the football. And if he does that, this thing is over. Instead, he leaves him out there with another chance.
Play number 9 set to come here on the drive on 3rd and 2. He'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
And Janikowski bangs it through. And we are all tied here on the final stages. Well, we knew this had the potential to be a tight game, but with less than 3 minutes to play, couldn't be any tighter. We're all tied.
All locked up, right? And this next drive is going to tell us everything we need to know about this game, because I want to see how they come out with the football. Are they going to be aggressive and attack downfield? You still got a 2-minute warning to come up? Or are they going to be conservative and try and hold on and maybe just get to overtime?
So here comes the kickoff now, all even here in this fourth quarter. To return it now, here's King. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trite expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks, because then the defense has the advantage.
Here's Rivers. Over the middle, he's got Tyrell Williams. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. First down yardage on the first play of the drive, 14 yards. Now Rivers. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off near the 42. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. So how about that for a momentum switch?
We're in the fourth quarter, and it's a tie game. You've got to take care of the football here. Now their opportunity to take the lead right out the window, and everything is flipped in the other direction.
And out now come the Seahawks. They're on the outskirts of field goal range here in a tie game with a little time. So how do you handle this? What do you do here, Charles?
Everybody wants to pick up as much yardage as possible. But the weird part is, for field goal kickers, being in really close sometimes puts more pressure on them because it's much more of a position kick as opposed to just going ahead and letting it out and letting it thump. A lot of guys like a little bit of distance because you know they can handle it, and it's a more natural swing of the leg.
So maybe getting inside the 20, not that big of a deal.
Not that huge of a deal. Sometimes that messes you up with the angles depending on which hash mark you're kicking from.
And they'll run it here. Fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. And now the Chargers are going to look up here and signal for a timeout as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game. All right, so the timeout over and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Carson. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a third down.
Partner, you've got about 20 coaches on your payroll, but there's 60,000 of them in the stands. I don't think any of them like that play.
And the later we go, it's starting to sound like 100,000 in here. So third down, they need to get to the 28 for a first. And on the ground they go with a running back. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. And now the Chargers are going to signal for another timeout as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this fourth quarter. The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and set as we resume play. So the field goal unit is on the field as this is a big spot right here. This to take the lead here in the final minute. And Janikowski bangs it through. And the sideline celebrates as they have taken the lead in the final minute. All right, so time to reset here. It's a huge kick there, gives them the lead, but they've got to be careful that their celebrations aren't a little too premature.
You're exactly right about that because there still is time for the other guys to run a few plays and get into field goal position. So this defense is going to need to come up with one final stop if they're going to get out of here with a victory.
Now after the made field goal, here's Sebastian Janikowski to kick it away. To return it now, here's King. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Phillip Rivers now gears up to take the offense back out there. Certainly they want to win this game, but down 3, they know what they need to do. Get in field goal range, at least have a chance to tie.
And if you approach it the right way, you almost have a safety net. Knowing just a field goal gets it done. You don't press for the touchdown, but you take it if the opportunity comes, if the opening's there. Someone slips in the secondary and you get a big play. But otherwise, get the 3, put that on the board, and try to extend the game.
They'll be trying to muster 3. Of course, they'd love the score to win it. He's back to throw. Got a man over the middle. It's Williams. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. And he clocks it with just 10 seconds left. And that one is incomplete, and now we're inside of 10 seconds. Just 9 remain. And I see an extra defensive back on the field. Little surprise here on 3rd and 1. Back to throw. And Allen's got it. And he brings this up to the 46. Good enough for the first. And now with 4 seconds left, we get a timeout call. So the offense took the timeout. Looks like they're ready to go as we get set to resume the action. One last shot now for Rivers. Now a desperation throw deep. And a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off at the 16. Well, we were on hand for a fun and entertaining game here. Coming down really to that last play. Great job defensively to get the pick and seal it.
And we know that every play during a game matters. You're never sure which one's going to be one of the key ones. But at the end of the game, when you analyze it, 3, 4, 5 plays are going to be the ones you focus on. And that last play was one of them. The last shot had to take it, and they came up with the interception and sealed their victory.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. It's a win for the Seahawks here as we say so long from Seattle.